Hey y'all, it's my review for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, episodes 3 and 4. I did not forget about this franchise. It's just, I think once Beverly Hills ends, because that franchise has top priority. Like, I have to get that out soon as possible. I'd be kind of like forgetting about Salt Lake. And then I went to Philly this past weekend, so I didn't have time to bring my camera with me. So, sorry for the delay. I'm sure y'all hear this a lot. Anyway, I'm glad I put these two episodes together because at the end of 3, it ends on a cliffhanger. And then episode 4 just rounds out their trip to Arizona. But let's get into it. So episode 3 starts where the last left off, where Whitney is confiding into the ladies about her abuse that happened. She doesn't give us any specifics. It's still pretty vague. She says speaking out about this has lifted a weight off her shoulders, and while she's in Arizona, she's going to see her siblings who just so happen to live out there. The topic then moves to Lisa and Meredith, and Lisa apologizes again. But it looks like Meredith is having trouble accepting it. How many times does Meredith need Lisa to apologize to her? We found out that the chip on Meredith's shoulder is she wants Lisa to say that all those things she said in her rant was a lie. We then cut to Lisa's confessional, and production asked her, was anything in her rant a lie? She says a very swift no. Like, no, as she just sips her Diet Coke. What a friend. I mean, I guess I can see why Meredith's mad, but she is letting Lisa have it in this moment and talking to her very condescendingly. When Lisa's interrupting her, she's like, can you stop interrupting me? Now, when I'm done, you can say what you want. Meredith then tells Lisa that she needs to seek help, and once she found out that she sought help, maybe then they can move their relationship forward. And now they're really going back and forth because Meredith is now questioning Lisa's mental stability. Lisa says at the table she's not going to slit her wrist for anybody to be friends with her again. Little did she know that this statement just triggered Meredith because she recently had a friend that tried to end their life. Try not to get flagged, y'all, because I can't say the S word. Crazy, right? But now Meredith's upset again. Meanwhile, Jen realizes that the attention isn't on her for once, and then she starts talking about her situation. Afterwards, Meredith begrudgingly accepts Lisa's apology and says they're going to try to move forward. Next scene is the following day, and the activity they have planned is cycling while drinking. Y'all know that little, like all the ladies are at this cart and they're all pedaling while they're drinking. Like that is the third biggest cliche activity on reality TV shows. Like right behind goat yoga and sound baths. Like they've done this on Atlanta as well as Jersey. I want to say they've done it on another franchise too. So as the ladies are getting ready for the activity, we see Heather talking to Meredith, and Heather wants to know why Meredith isn't in a place to just forgive Lisa. Like, she's literally friends with Jen, who I think has done worse to Meredith. Heather even tells her that she needs to stop being a condescending, superior bitch and just have fun. Meredith looks like she's getting slightly annoyed, and she says, I said what I said. I'm gonna forgive the bitch when I want. Now, she didn't exactly say that, but that's what she meant. So next scene, they all get to the cycling/drinking activity, and they are acting a fool. Whitney is on the pole in the middle of the cart. They're dousing each other with cans of rosé and White Claw. Jen even pours the rosé down Whitney's skirt as she's upside down. It's nice to see that they're all getting along in this moment, even Meredith and Lisa. So afterwards, they all look like they had fun, and now the next location is something that Lisa planned for them. But all I'm wondering is, did they stop and take a shower or anything? Because I know they all sticky. Yeah, this is a question that needs an answer because they're all in the same clothing as they pull up to this female rodeo activity. I swear, if Lisa says the word Dior one more time, we get it. You saw them at a Dior show and you have on Dior boots. Got it. A little later, Heather takes Lisa to the side and repeats to her how Meredith is feeling about their feud. Heather is just like the rest of us. Like, she's ready for this feud to be over. It's going on long enough. Meanwhile, we're with the other ladies and they're talking about Lisa. Meredith still doesn't think Lisa is sorry, and now Whitney, she does a whole 180 and now has a guilty conscience about the rumors they were talking about with Lisa. And now we see Meredith is backtracking, saying that she wasn't spreading rumors, she was simply saying that there are rumors out about Lisa. Now Meredith, you gotta stand in your mess. You engaging, don't be trying to disengage now. Like, you already in the mess. And ooh, look at Whitney trying to throw Meredith under the bus, saying that she brought the rumors to her. Production is rewinding that footage for us, and yes, Meredith was talking about a rumor, but Whitney was the one that was giving specifics and naming names. This is way more messier on Whitney's part, in my opinion. So next we see all the ladies horseback riding. Fast forward, it's later in the evening now, and they're all getting prepared for a lingerie-themed dinner. Specifically, a garbage whore lingerie-themed dinner, orchestrated by Jen Shaw. Child, not Whitney trying to correlate her personal journey on abuse to ratting out Whitney spreading rumors. I don't like that. So everyone is dressed in sexy apparel except for Lisa, who's literally in pajamas. She's like, I feel sexy. Fine, girl. I mean, it's not like we're dying to see you in lingerie. So now we see Whitney talking amongst Jen and Meredith about the rumors. Jen says she didn't bring it up. I don't know why Whitney can't just leave it alone. She has the nerve to say that Meredith is the one that put her in the middle of this, as if she didn't willingly say specifics about the rumors surrounding Lisa. Now, the rumor from what I gathered is Whitney, Heather, and Angie were all at a Utah Jazz game, and they saw that Lisa's son was in courtside seats, like her son and her husband. And allegedly, Whitney says that Angie told her that she did sexual favors for those tickets. And then later on, she says Heather heard this rumor along with her. But we're not on that yet. We'll get to that later. And now Whitney is saying she can't move forward until she tells Lisa about these rumors. She's clearly drunk, by the way, as well. Lord, now we see Whitney storming into the house as Lisa and Heather are at the table. She sits down and says she has something to say. She tells Lisa that she's been discussing her marriage, but Meredith was the one that brought it up. She says she came to me. Like, wow. I don't think Meredith came to her solely to tell her this rumor, but they were actively engaging in it. And Whitney took it further by naming names. She is wrong as hell for this. After Whitney tells Lisa the specifics of the rumor, Lisa explodes. Disgusting! Disgusting! And there go that fake cry she be doing. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. She just squinches up her face. No tears come out. I'm blaming Whitney for this. Yes, Meredith has some fault, but Whitney made it 100 times worse. Side note, I am living for Heather's commentary during this. Lisa is now yelling at the top of her lungs. Her and Meredith are going at it. Whitney is drunk as fuck. Lisa says, I don't know how much more I can take. This is peak acting. She says all she has is her husband and her kids, and she storms off. I need to talk to my husband. We're then with all the ladies at the table, and again, Jen sees that the attention is not on her. I'm the one who literally just had my kids and my husband. That's all I got. Girl, enough. Go directly to jail. Do not collect $200. I am sick of her. I'm sick of her lies. We are just watching you on this season just so you can contradict yourself. Meredith then tells Whitney that she caused a lot of confusion, and Heather agrees. Now, Whitney, I like you, but you ain't shit for this. These ladies were having a nice dinner in their lingerie, and then Whitney comes and just blows it all up. For no reason. Meredith then gets up and goes to Lisa's room, and Lisa does not want to hear it. She's like, why are you here? Get out. Get out. It looks like Lisa is tired of being apologetic, especially hearing that Meredith has been spreading rumors about her. Meredith tells Lisa that she didn't say those things that Whitney said. So then Lisa goes out the room to go to Whitney to try to confirm, and Whitney lies. Just bold-faced lies that she didn't say that Meredith did. It is absolute chaos. There's tears, there's people trying to talk over each other, and Heather is pissed. It's even getting comical at this point because Heather's like, so what? What if Lisa gives blowjobs for Vita tequila orders? Now what? When I tell y'all I was dying at that part, Heather then says she'll give a blowjob for a burger. Who cares? Whitney is still going on a drunken rant. At this point, I didn't know what I was watching. The only thing that would have made this scene kookier is if they would have added Mary Cosby. And now Whitney decides to throw Heather under the bus and tells Lisa that she also heard that rumor because she was there when Angie said it. And Heather calls her a fucking liar. Heather says she doesn't even remember hearing this rumor from Angie, and this moment kicks off the Heather versus Whitney saga. And it is definitely a saga because this storyline bleeds into Ultimate Girls Trip 3. They're both still going at it, the credits start to roll. Heather tells Whitney, fuck you! And then she just storms off. We see a drunk Whitney respond, yeah, fuck me. I'd like to be fucked. And that is where episode 3 ends. Diggins. Whew. Yeah, let's move on to episode 4. So episode 4 opens with Heather talking to Jen separately after she just stormed off from the table. She's filling her in on what Whitney said, and she is pissed. Now, side note, it is crazy that a cast member on this season is facing like severe federal time, and it's not even the A plot. It's the C plot. I'm guessing it's not that interesting because we all know she's going to jail. I don't know. It's fascinating. We then see Whitney in the other room crying to Meredith in an extremely drunken state. It really sucks that their friendship ended over this bullshit. Heather says that her and Whitney have never fought like this before. So then she goes back into the dining room and her and Whitney are going at it again in their lingerie while Jen and Meredith watch. At this point, they're both in each other's faces. They're this close going back and forth. Heather then swipes Whitney to the side as she lands into the wall and storms off. I thought they were about to fight. As Heather's halfway to her room, she tells Whitney, "You lost me, bitch." So after this, we see that the party is still going on. I know Lisa went to bed, and I think it was either Heather or Whitney that went upstairs. But Jen's surprised. I mean, she bought her makeup artist who doubles as a twerk instructor. She's in lingerie teaching the ladies how to twerk. Child, I never would have thought I've seen Meredith attempt to twerk, and I have, and I am now fast forwarding. So next scene is the following morning. Heather is talking to Meredith saying that Whitney went into her room and like tore up a friendship card. We see production captured all of that, and then after Whitney did that, she looked directly into the camera. Meanwhile, we see Whitney talking to Jen, and she says she feels betrayed by Heather. We've basically now just switched feuds amongst the cast, and now Whitney and Heather are going to be fighting for the next 7 episodes, probably. So later on, we find out that Jen has to leave the trip early to go to New York. I'm sure it's court-related. And then Whitney, she's going to visit her relatives. Well, with Whitney now, she's talking to her half-siblings, and she has a lot of brothers and sisters. Papa was a Rolling Stone, definitely. I gotta say, I'm very confused about this abuse talk because she's not giving any type of specifics. She's saying that her siblings have gone through similar traumas. No specifics, it's just all very vague. If anyone would like to enlighten me in the comments, please help me out because I'm just really confused by all of it. Next thing, we're back at the house with the other ladies. They're cooking breakfast, telling each other good morning. Production let us know that it is 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. It definitely looks like the ladies are worn out from the previous evening. So Jen lets them all know she has to attend a mock trial, and she plans on taking the stand. We see how that turned out. And here come the tears, and she's talking about, how it's affecting her family. Like, she knowingly committed this crime against the elderly. I'm sorry, my fucks are out. So Whitney then comes back to the house. They're all chatting for a bit. Jen has to leave. They all do a group hug for her as she leaves. You'd think she was going to jail the way they were just so, emotional about it. So I'm guessing the mood is just overall somber now that Jen left the house. And now we see Meredith and Lisa exchange a very long hug. I'm guessing they're over the beef now. So later that evening, the 4 remaining women, they all go to dinner. There's no drama so far, but we see that Whitney's definitely being shady and she's not over what Heather told her. Heather steps away from the table for a bit, and Whitney is telling Lisa and Meredith how hurt she is. She's definitely putting 20 on 10 with this sob story. Heather then comes back to the table, and Whitney finally talks it out. She's like, "I needed you, Heather. You weren't there for me in my tough moment." Now, I'm with Heather. Like, girl, what tough moment are you talking about? Like, you want her to corroborate the gossip that you heard about Lisa? That is your tough moment? Yeah, sit down. So Heather is just making all the sense, but she keeps repeating that Lisa's giving blowjobs for courtside seats. Lisa's like, "Can you please stop saying that? Can you please stop saying that?" Ooh, Heather is eating Whitney up. Like, Whitney is tongue-tied. Like, she keeps trying to go back to using abuse as emotional manipulation, but it's not working with Heather. Like, she don't have a leg to stand on. She sounds ridiculous. Like, she blew up the entire night just so she can feel better about herself. Heather tells Whitney that she made this trip about herself the moment they all walked into the house, and she stirred up drama. I'm not sure why Whitney is using her abuse story as a shield to be messy, but I think I can say, most of the viewers are on Heather's side. After they finish going back and forth, they then all agree to keep the remainder of the trip light. So later on that evening, they're all back at the house. Meredith got them all gag gifts, including Jen, and it's hats that say F, and it has like a bee, the insect, and then an I. So hats that say FBI. I mean, it's nice to see that Jen didn't take it the wrong way, but I do think the cast doesn't really understand the gravity of how serious this situation is. Like, she can probably go to jail for like the rest of her life or at least 10 years. I'm gonna stick to my guesstimate. I think she's gonna serve 5 years in prison. So now we see them all discussing Jen's trial, and even before the guilty verdict, it seemed like they know that she's gonna be going to jail. Especially Meredith, because she's breaking it down for all the ladies. Now remember, Meredith used to be a lawyer, so she knows what she's talking about. They're even talking about Stewart and how he might testify against Jen. We get flashbacks of their relationship because they were very close. It's just funny how much this franchise has changed from season 1 to season 3. We cut to Meredith's confessional, and again, she definitely knows what she's talking about. It seemed like she just knew that Jen is going to jail because her odds aren't good. We then see all the ladies agreeing that at least Jen had a fun time on this chaotic trip. And that is where the episode ends. So now I'm caught up, y'all. Hopefully, I can get episode 5 up to y'all by itself and I have to combine it with 6. We shall see. But yeah, I think they need to introduce the friends of immediately. Like, they need more people in the dynamic. We then see next week that they do start to introduce the friends of, starting with Angie. I'm not sure why they didn't just make her a full-time housewife, but maybe they're still doing background checks because racists in Utah are a dime a dozen, as we've seen. Anyway, y'all let me know whose side y'all on, Heather or Whitney. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.